Tony's a five-star recruit, true freshman linebacker, starting his first season in the SEC. His coach told him he has the talent to go pro. His teammates fight for his roster spot every practice. His friends talk up his legend back home, and his family believes he will lift them out of the projects. But Tony just failed the COM 101 midterm. He's 17. Where can he turn, and who can he talk to? Unfortunately, this is the story for thousands of student athletes, especially football players, across the country. College athletics holds the promise of a better future, but the reality is a pressure-filled grind that often hinders more opportunities than it creates. A grind few can understand. 72.5 hours. That's how many hours student athletes spend on their sport each week.
I don't know, it's just like a lot of mental responsibility to have as a student athlete. You know, not only are you worried about school and attending tutors and classes on time and getting assignments in, but you also are worried about assignments on the court, on the field, you know what I'm saying? And then like the emotional toll that also adds in that is like, I feel like it's different. I don't think a lot of people can handle it, the pressure.
It's a full-time job on top of being a student. Tony was reluctant to tell me what was going on. But after he began to trust me, the truth came out. His grades were slipping in 3 of his 5 classes. His coach is talking about cutting his playing time because he's messing up on the field. And his mom tells Tony, hang in there. You know everyone is counting on you to make it. You got this. But does he really? As I talked with Tony, the frustration and fear of failure was all I could see in his eyes.
I think they were all kind of looking at me like, okay, like you damn sure gonna go to college. Like you got the grades, you got everything. Like you better go to college.
When I asked Tony what his life would look like without football, he drew a blank. He's been playing this game since he was in elementary school. The plan was to go pro.
And you could see the dumbfoundedness in his face where he was like, that doesn't make sense. And so I think that was just a moment for me where I just realized like, man, there's just so much more out here, but we don't realize that when, you know, a young man, you're given a ball and you're like, this is what makes you valuable. This is your purpose.
The game had opened doors for Tony, allowing him to go to college on a scholarship. But the game also closed opportunities. It chose his major from the few that didn't conflict with practice. The football schedule also kept him from getting to know his teachers and doing important things like attending the career fair. This is even more of a problem when one considers that less than 2% of college athletes will play at the professional level, leaving 98% to create a life beyond what they have spent the majority of their time doing. Tony, like so many athletes, feels lost and unsure, having no idea where to turn or who to talk to next. Tony needs community, expert guidance, and access to resources. I tell Tony about Kommit. The concept is simple. From the minute they step on campus, freshman athletes are paired with a Kommit mentor. Through text, FaceTime, recorded video messages, and Zoom, athletes become part of a mentor-based community where they can access someone anytime, anywhere about real issues they're dealing with.
At the point in time where I was a freshman, I didn't have the skill to manage everything. You know what I'm saying? At the time, with family, with school, with girlfriends, whatever, with sport, all that. I didn't know how to put it all in there and focus on what was what.
What makes Kommit different is that our dedicated mentors were all once student athletes themselves. From the moment Tony was paired with his Kommit mentor, Mark, Tony expressed relief and gratitude that now he has someone to talk to who gets what he's going through. A certified financial planner, Mark played college football for 4 years. Tony told me how he didn't have to explain to Mark why he's so tired and mentally drained, feeling like the world is caving in on him. Because Mark gets it. He's been where Tony is. After a month of FaceTime and text exchanges, Tony went from failing 3 classes to passing everything. The time management tips Mark is giving Tony are practical and effective.
I didn't know like who I wanted to be. I didn't know like what to be.
Now Tony knows he doesn't have to go it alone. Mark is there in the good times and the hard times. From freshman year until he crosses the finish line of college graduation and starting his career, Mark and Tony are in this together.
To be able to, see yourself as someone outside of sport who is happy, who is joyful, you have to see someone who is outside of sport who is happy, who is joyful, so that seed can be planted. So you're like, okay, this can be a reality.
The question is never, how are you going to figure this out? It's, how are we going to figure this out together? For student athletes like Tony and many others, our unique model is changing lives. It's breaking down barriers, creating community, and improving outcomes, one mentor at a time. Will you make a commitment to help us grow the Kommit community? Can you refer a player to us? Perhaps become a Kommit mentor. Kommit cares about creating systems of support for college athletes that will empower and transform their future and lives for the better forever.